Hi, everybody. This is Rashim Mogha, and welcome again to my channel. Today, I'm going to talk about self-care and how it helps you in investing in yourself and being more focused in what you do. Now, this is very timely because I've had a recent experience that has forced me to think about self-care in a different way. Well, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, now is the time to subscribe to my channel and click on the notification bell icon so that you can get notified every time I release a new video. And now let's get started about self-care and what's going on in my life. Last week, I had a little accident which allowed me to actually open up my perspective around self-care and how it allows you to focus better in terms of the things that you're doing. So Tuesday evening, I was doing some dishes. I had a glass that I was washing by hand. I broke it, and the pieces of the glass actually went into my right hand. A couple of fingers, my thumb, and a big cut right under my thumb that led to me going into emergency and getting 5 stitches. So it was supposed to be a very, very busy week for me this week because we had just acquired a new company in my business unit. There were a lot of integration activities that we were supposed to do. And none of that was going away just because I was injured. So I started using a lot of voice commands on Microsoft Teams and also on my cell phone, voice to text conversion tools so that I could minimize the use of my hand and still focus on the work that I was doing. But what happened was, apart from the work that I was doing at work, I cut down on some other pieces of work that I typically focus on a day, like LinkedIn posts or social media posts, and also phone calls or stuff that I would do that was not important or urgent. So I focused on myself for last 3-4 days, taking care of my hand. And during this process, what I realized was that I was able to focus better on those 2 or 3 things that I had picked that I would still continue to focus on last week. As many of you know, I am a leadership coach. I coach a lot of women leaders in terms of how to be successful in their careers. And my coaching is essentially based on my Amazon #1 best-selling book, Fast Track Your Leadership Career. For those of you who don't have access to that book, I would leave the link in the show notes below so that you can check it out. But essentially, as part of being a better coach, what I am doing is I'm taking this 7-week program. I've enrolled myself in this 7-week program, which is on positive intelligence. It's a very beautiful concept, and I will actually create a separate video on that and share with you. But first 2 weeks, I was just trying to do all my work plus other things that I had to do, household chores, and then focus on this program. And I was realizing that while I was finding this program important, I did not realize the beauty of this program up until this week when I really started focusing on it, because I had narrowed down the multitasking that I was doing. And positive intelligence is a beautiful, beautiful concept, which actually talks about the sages and saboteurs that exist in your mind. And how do you balance them to create a mindset that actually allows you to be innovative, to be creative, to be an empathetic leader, to focus on your business goals and to get results. So this week has been groundbreaking for me from a perspective of the learnings and the personal growth that I've seen. It also actually made me understand how much power I had within myself. So on Tuesday, when I cut my hand and I saw that bleeding happening, I knew right away that I had to go to the emergency. But my husband wasn't home, which means that either I could call Uber and wait for 30 minutes to have Uber come to my house and pick me up to take me to emergency, or I had to pull all my strength together and drive myself with a cut, bleeding right hand to ER. And what I did was I focused all my energy and brought in all my strength and channeled that strength to be able to drive myself quickly to ER. Although it did take me about 2 hours before they could put the stitches in and say that I was okay to go back home. But last week just helped me understand how important it was to be able to channel your strength, be focused, and how prioritizing yourself, your self-care, and reducing the number of tasks, right? Rather than bouncing off from one task to another, but channeling that energy into anything that you want to focus on. And in my case, it was the positive intelligence coaching piece that I wanted to focus on. Makes you, it helped make so much progress in this 1 week. I don't think I've made this kind of progress in a long time. So prioritize your self-care, focus pick up less things, but focus more on that. When you have a lot of things going on, your focus reduces. And that's why people say pick up top 3 important things that you want to focus on and work through that. And this week set things into perspective for me. So I hope that this week becomes that week of very powerful learning for you as well. And you are able to identify what things you need to do to be able to fast track your personal growth. Well, have a wonderful, wonderful week. And I will come back to you next week with more learnings from positive intelligence coaching that I'm working on, coaching program that I'm working on. And hopefully I can share with you some sound tips that you can use to be successful in whatever you do. Till then, keep succeeding.